Hey everybody, Cowboy here, and this is an excerpt from our daily live lab, which is free to the public over on YouTube every day, every weekday that is, from 8:30 AM EST to 9 AM EST. And then, of course, we flip over to our private live lab for our members. Look at the bottom of the screen. You can see how to find us, the URL, www.algofactory.tech. Also, there is the QR code. You can zap that with your phone. And this is a conversation about pattern trading versus algo trading. Okay, so pattern trading is kind of something that a lot of new traders will use because it's easy to recognize. And what I like to do is use patterns to kind of give me clues as to what's going to happen, and then use the algorithm as my entry. And also, I can use the algorithm as a filter, so I can say, hey, don't enter this pattern. You know, as if they conflict, and it's a good way to kind of know whether or not to take a trade. Either way, this is some good info. Strap in, enjoy it, and then at the end of the video, we'll have a little bit more information on how to find us. Enjoy. So in this case, let me draw this out. I'm going to tell a story. We're going to show you what this triangle tells us about price. Okay, so in this case, you have price where you have the bulls and the bears. And what happens at the bottom is the bulls, and what happens at the top is the bears. So the bears push down, the bulls push up, right? And it's kind of like watching a battle in a way, because right now, what you'll notice is that the bulls are kind of holding that same line. They're holding the line while the bears are advancing. The bears are moving farther and farther lower. The bulls keep fighting back, but the bulls are not gaining ground. The bulls are not heading upward, right? So if the bears are advancing and it's coming to a point like this, the bears, once it kind of comes towards the end of this, the bears are just probably going to win because they continue to advance while the bulls don't, and price heads down. That's just generally how this pattern works. Again, like I said before, people tend to trust this pattern more as a continuation. So they want to see price heading down into it and down out of it. Price to continue in the same direction. However, I haven't tested this on the EURUSD. I don't know the numbers, but I can tell you there's a decent chance, even though price headed up into it, this triangle still tells the same story. There's no difference in the story that the triangle tells. So if, in fact, on the higher time frame, a reversal is imminent, if a reversal makes sense, and right now it's kind of flat, so it may or may not make sense, it's kind of a weird time, which is a great time to actually pay attention to these things, then even though price may continue up eventually, right now there's a decent chance that price heads down. And how do we trade this, right? So this is how I trade this, okay? So you have your triangle again, and I use what are called Fibonacci extensions, okay? And now we'll get into some more data. There's a couple of ways to deal with this, but with the triangle I start, well, I'll use the real extension tool. Let's see here. Start at the top, go to the bottom, click again, go back to the top, click again, right? So the Fibonacci numbers, look, there's some reason, no one knows it, but price tends to move towards and bounce off of these Fibonacci numbers. Okay, it's like a magical thing that people theorize. Again, Fibonacci numbers exist in nature. The joints in your fingers are at the 6.18 ratio. It's just something that occurs in nature. So as price breaks out, we might be looking at if price kind of breaks out, say right here, then the 6.18 might be where it goes to, and then it might even head down. That's the 6.18. Sorry, I meant to say initially the 1272. So the 1272 is a target, 6.18 is a target, and the way to trade this might be, some people enter right away if they're very confident or if they're risky. Others will let price break out, head back up, and then they have their order set and then take their trade. And that's a more conservative way to do it. It's a pullback trade. If the market is more energetic, then some people they'll just enter right as soon as it breaks because it might not pull back. But if the market's choppy, and it kind of is, then a pullback is a decent bet. And EURUSD, as a habit, likes to pull back and grab liquidity. That's a very common thing for EURUSD. So now, if that happens, then what I might do is enter right here, and I'll have I'll have my targets down there, and I'll have a stop loss up here somewhere. I'll probably, I'd have to see what price does, but this would be the trade. And that being the case, we're looking at why is this being stupid? We're looking at a 3-to-1, maybe 4-to-1 trade. In this case, it would be something like this. Price breaks down here, comes back up, heads down to targets. It would be, again, we're running out of time, so I don't have necessarily the time to map this out properly, but it probably would end up looking something like this. And then with our Fibonacci tool, it'll look like this. So targets would be, in order to see my stop, I'd have to see where it bounces. If it dug a little deeper in, then I could enter a little bit better. But that's kind of what the trade might look like. And then, of course, what I do is I have another tool that we use that will take a look at this move up. And if you want it, we'll talk about it in the actual Algo Factory that we're about to start. We're going to end this right now. We're going to go into our private group, and then I'm going to use a tool on this impulse up to determine where price is more likely to bounce. So for now, we're going to end it. Again, go over to algofactory.tech, and if you do that, we record our live sessions. You would be able to see the rest of this because I'll post it up later today in our private Telegram group, and you'll be able to see the rest of how I determine this whole thing. So I got the URL up there. I'm going to flash the QR code, and the gorilla is going to give us that send off.
All right, all you folks out there, listen. You've seen just a little inkling, just a little sample of what Cowboy does here and what we bring to the table in algofactory.tech. Listen, don't hesitate. Sign up now. This is the path towards freedom. You grind it out with us here daily. I promise you, you will be in an amazing place down the road. algofactory.tech. Join today. With that being said, Cowboy, let's get into our private group. Let's have some fun.
Okay, we're good. We got Gigi, right. Mavbet. Of course, my thanks to Valley Girl for going on there and talking with Jay. We appreciate the help there. Always giving us a good name in there. So, all right, let me continue with the lesson. Get rid of some noise here. Okay, so we're going to use the fixed range on this. And I'm sure anybody who's been with us for any amount of time knows that I was going to use a fixed range. And as I do that, that's going to show the volume nodes. And the relevant volume node is going to be this big fat node. And we're going to see... Morning, Etrav. Etrav, I saw you jump into the strategic life channel because I'm just kind of helping out to manage it over there. And I saw you jump in and jump out. What the hell, man? You scared? You scared of strategizing your life? So there's this node here. I'm gonna code it properly in my usual. I'm trying to stay consistent with my coding here, so it's that color. But yeah, so there's actually I would go all the way to the 618 on this, or at least I'd front run it. I wouldn't do the 618, but I'd just do a few pips above that. And that way, if my stop loss were here, yeah, I'm looking at it at least a 3-to-1, if in fact my algo tells me I can take this trade. So we are live every weekday, 8:30 AM EST, giving out free content. Come check us out on YouTube. Come talk to us. Go over to the website. That's www.algofactory.tech. Again, www.algofactory.tech. And for a limited time promotional offer, we are giving out memberships at $49.99 a month. There's a ton that we're offering over there. Come see what that's about. Also, you can see our Twitter link. All the links are up on YouTube. Come talk to us on social media. See us on the live YouTube videos. We hope to see you soon.